Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, is a special called meeting of the Commissioners Court of Hood County, Texas. Today is Friday, November the 12th. It is 9 o'clock. We're in the Hood County Justice Center, Century Jury Room, 1200 West Pearl Street. The following subject will be discussed and acted upon. This is where we are going to, pursuant to Chapter 552 of the Texas Government Code, that we are convening into a special session to receive public comment on redistricting of county election, justice of peace, and Commissioner Court precincts. After the public hearing, the Commissioner Court will take up for consideration and to take possible action regarding one or more alternate plans for the redistricting of county court precincts. The court reserves the right to take any and all appropriate actions regarding the redistricting of Hood County political boundaries, including the acceptance of new boundaries for the Commissioner Court precincts, modification of any boundaries, and/or tabling the pending proposals for later considerations and/or actions. This is also stated in Spanish pursuant to Texas law. So the first thing that we're going to do right now is to adjourn into a public meeting, public hearing to discuss anything. So here at 9:07, we are now adjourning into a public hearing to hear any comments that any citizens would like to make regarding the redistricting of Hood County. Do I hear anything? Or any commissioner can make any comment?
I've got one comment to make on the map that we talked about briefly. This here is what we took out of precinct 1 and put it into precinct 2, this portion right here, to get me in balance. But we've missed one little spot up here. Talking to the director of road operations, Don Lenny, he said it'd make it easier if we would go ahead and extend that portion on this Highway 167 on that little niche right there, would make the boundary cleaner. So I think we should include, I think, Jack, what did you say, there was?
Two people.
Two people live there, so it won't affect it much, but it will make it cleaner for road operations and also the constables to know that is the breaking point. Is this is 167 highway coming out of the front gate of Pecan and then heading towards Massey Road. So it'd be a lot cleaner if we included that in my precinct.
Is it just that little piece right there, little triangle right there?
Little spot right there.
There's two people living there.
See, there's a bridge right there.
Oh, okay.
All they're doing is, shade that up right there.
Is that going from precinct 3 into precinct 2?
That's correct.
I got 3 too. I think I said 1.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I meant.
That's what you meant. Okay. Okay.
So that was the only comment I had that I can see.
The rest of it is, the rest of the map is the way we voted on Tuesday, correct?
On Thursday, the 28th of October, yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
And that's what we voted on, but what we're suggesting now is we do make a change to add that little segment right there into 2 out of 3.
Okay. Other than that, everything that's
Yes.
proposed on that remains the same.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does anyone else here in the public have any comment? Okay. And any commissioners have any questions about the one little adjustment from what we voted on?
Just for the public, Jack, why don't you show them what changes we did make?
Okay.
Just kind of go
Well, we'll start out with the numbers. Kevin Andrews was down 1390. I was plus 1138. In precinct 3, precinct 2 was plus 634. And precinct 2 was down 231, I believe it was. Where we ended up is this little strip right here north of 377 to the lake, which includes the shores, The apartments behind the Chicken Row and the old Kroger's goes to 1. That was already in 1 right there. Then we took Highway 51 right here, all the way to the bridge, to the lake. That came out of, all of that right there came out of 4 and goes to 1. We end up now with the final count is precinct 1 is down 227 negative. Precinct 4 is plus 213. Precinct 3 and precinct 2 are both at a 0.5 percentage point.
That's pretty close.
And, we just, by making this little change here, that, like I say, there's, according to the census, there's only 2 people in that little segment right there.
Okay, good job. Okay. I think if everybody understands that, we can go ahead and adjourn if there's no questions or comments from the public. And we see Mr. Donald Lenny there. Was that your suggestion about getting those 2 people in?
Yes, sir, yeah.
So you are in agreement with that then, sir?
Make it a lot cleaner.
Make it a lot cleaner, okay. That satisfies my questions pretty much, Mr. Lenny. Okay. All right. So at 9:11, we're going to reconvene back into Commissioners Court. So we're back into Commissioners Court, and would someone care to make a motion about the new redistricting plan?
Is this the resolution that we're going to follow?
Yes, this is the resolution that we
Is that
got.
what we vote on, you think?
I thought, yes, and what we have to sign, it's a place for me to sign, all the commissioners to sign, and for Katie Lang, the county clerk, to sign. So that should make it very official then, so.
I don't mind making the motion.
Oh, okay, all right, or, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to make the motion that we adopt the order adopting redistricting plan for Commissioners Court precincts as we voted on the 28th, with the change made between precinct 3 and 4. And I would say, I don't mind circling my copy to give the record what we're trying to do. So the little lip that Commissioner Wilson pointed to right there is the only change that we voted on the last time. So I'll make the motion that we adopt the redistricting plan as it was presented today.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made by Commissioner Eagle to adopt the redistricting plan as we had voted on the 28th, with the single exception of this little hill that it appears on the map that contains 2 people that was at the suggestion of Don Lenny to be transferred from 3 into 2, and that has been seconded by Commissioner Wilson. So if there's any other discussion or questions from anybody, if not, all those in favor of adopting the redistricting plan as stated in the motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. So we will now sign this order. I'm going to sign it right now and then pass it down for everybody to sign it. Is there any other matters that need to be brought up before the Commissioners Court at this time? Does anybody know of anything?
The only thing I would like to throw out there, Judge, is that our elections administrator made a suggestion at the last court on this issue about we have 15 voting precincts in the county. Each commissioner precinct has 3 or 4 voting precincts, and she suggested that we use the nomenclature for each commissioner's precinct in front of each voting precinct in that precinct. In other words, if you've got a voting precinct, well, let me take mine, for instance. Commissioners Precinct 4, I have voting precinct 4, 8, 9, and 15. And her suggestion was to put the nomenclature or the number 4 in front of each one of those, so I would have 404, 408, 409, and 415. So I don't know if we need to do that today, but I just want to put that on the radar that I thought that was a great suggestion, and I think we could do it today, but I think we've got some issues that we need to clear up in Commissioner Cotton's voting precinct 16 about his population over there. Is that right?
That's correct. And we do have time to do that after talking to Allison Bass, John Reddington. We've got time, but we need to do it pretty quick if we're going to establish one more voting precinct so they can get their cards out, get them out to the people that are in the proper precinct. I think the issue is if we go by the count of population, my voting precinct 16 is larger than 5,000 people. If that's the case, then we have to split it up and create another voting precinct. If it's by registered voters, I might not be at 5,000. So we need to clear that up before we go and do changing that voting precinct. But we do have a little bit of time to do that. But I think we're going to have it done by the next Commissioners Court.
Well, we can put it on the next Commissioners Court for Tuesday, November the 23rd.
Yeah.
So we could straighten up both of those, because if we create a new precinct, then we might as well do it all at the same time, then for you, this to whatever the new precinct would be on that. So y'all want to do that? It's just put it on the agenda for the Commissioners Court that's going to be meeting on November the 23rd. So I like the suggestion as well about putting the precinct as the first number so everybody knows what precinct they're voting in.
I think the suggestion was also brought up that you could even change the 4, 8, 9, and 15 to increments of 5 or something in case you create another one. So you wouldn't have 8 and 9. What if you wanted one in between? You can't have an 8.5. So if you change them, if you're going to change it anyway, make it 4. So it could be 405, 4010, 410, 415, 420. It would give you some room in there to add additional precincts. So that was a suggestion brought up by the elections administrator. So something we should consider.
Yeah. Well, we'll have it worked out by the next time, or hopefully we will be, and then we can discuss it at the next Commissioners meeting. So if there's any other comments or questions? Well, if not, I'm adjourning this, and thank y'all all very much. It's a good meeting.